Hello, this is Grandma's Gone Gaming. I'm bringing you part 4 of the Villages and Villagers tutorial. The first thing that we'll look at is the villager professions and careers. The brown clothing villagers are all farmers. They are profession ID 0. However, there are 4 different types. There is the farmer who deals in actual farming trades. There is the fisherman who deals in fishing trades. The shepherd deals in wool trade. And the fletcher deals in bows and arrows. There is a white clothing villager who is the librarian, and there is only one type of librarian, and the librarian deals with books and enchanting, plus you can get name tags from him. The purple clothing villager is the cleric, and again only one of those, and that is profession ID 2, and he deals with salvation and healing. The librarian was ID 1, by the way. The black apron villager is the blacksmith, and there are 3 of those. He is profession ID 3, and there are 3 different careers. The armorer deals with metal and diamond armor. The weaponsmith deals with weapons, and the toolsmith deals with tools. The white apron villager is the butcher, and that is profession ID 4, and there are 2 of those. The butcher deals with raw and cooked pork and chicken. The leather worker, who is also a butcher, deals with leather armor and saddles. And here are some pictures of the villagers as seen in Sortex Fanver. The first one is the farmer in the brown clothing, then there's the librarian in the white clothing, and finally there is the cleric in the purple clothing. In this picture, there is the villager wearing the black apron, who is a blacksmith, and then there is a villager wearing a white apron, who is a butcher, and finally we see the iron golem. There will be an iron golem naturally generated in your villages for every 10 villagers that accrue into your village. Now we'll talk a little bit about farming, which is very important in Minecraft 1.8.1 and above. Adult and baby brown-robed villagers, who are farmers, shepherds, fletchers, and fishermen, will tend crops within the village boundary. These types of villagers far enough outside the boundary of any village will also tend nearby crops. Farmland to be tended is found by seeking for certain blocks up to 15 blocks away from the villager in X and Z and up to 1 away in Y, a 31 by 31 by 3 area total. If a brown-robed villager does not have enough food in 1 stack in his inventory, which would be 15 bread, 60 carrots, 60 potatoes, or 45 wheat, and finds fully grown wheat, carrots, or potatoes, he will move to the crop block and break it. If a brown-robed villager has any seeds, carrots, or potatoes in his inventory and finds an air block above farmland, he will move to it and plant a crop, always planting from the first eligible slot in its inventory. So depending on what they've been sharing, what they have left, and since wheat planting depends on the number of seeds picked up during a harvest, the farms will almost always end up as either just carrots, just potatoes, or even very occasionally just wheat. Now we'll look at the villager slots since 1.8, not 1.8.1. Villagers have 8 inventory slots. Villagers will not intentionally seek out items to pick up, but they will collect any bread, carrots, potatoes, wheat, or only for farmers, wheat seeds they happen to come within range of. These are the only items they are able to pick up. Wheat seeds are never shared. If a villager has enough food in 1 inventory stack and sees a villager without enough food in 1 inventory stack, he may decide to share food with that villager. And the farmers, if they have enough to share, would mean that they have 6 bread, either 6 bread, 24 carrots, 24 potatoes, or 18 wheat. Other villagers who would have enough to share would have either 6 bread, 24 carrots, or 24 potatoes. Now the farmer, if he didn't have enough in his inventory and could be given food from another villager, would be 15 bread, 60 carrots, 60 potatoes, or 45 wheat. Another villager that might be given food by either the farmers or other villagers would be if he was down to 3 bread, 12 carrots, or 12 potatoes. The farmers have extra in their inventory all the time so that they can both plant and share. Having gone through all of that, now I'll be adding in some little short videos that will illustrate much of the things that have to do with villagers, getting more villagers in your village, farming, and sharing the food out among the different villagers. All right, we have here the little librarian that was cured from a zombie villager last night, and I gave him a little bit of wheat, and I'm not really sure. He did seem to absorb it, but from what I was reading today, evidently only the farmers can make bread out of the wheat, so I don't know where he put it. But I'm going to give him some regular food. I'll start with some bread. Give him some bread there and let him absorb that. And there that goes. So then I'm going to give him some carrots. And we're going to get a little bit of food in each one of his slots. And then I'm going to give him some potatoes. And so then he has all the stuff to make bread and stew, it looks like. He doesn't have any meat. Okay, so that will make him a little bit happy in itself. But then we're going to go ahead and do some trading with him and get him all happy. And then I'm going to start getting some other villagers here in a variety of different ways. So the first thing that the librarian would like to trade for is paper, and he will give you an emerald. And I'm going to go ahead and just do this one by one. We don't need to, do multiple trades to make him really happy. But I have a bunch here in case we wanted to do that. But he wants 30 emeralds and one book to give you an enchanted book that has power 2 in his case. It's not always the same. That happens different from different librarian to different librarian. And then since we don't have any more available trades here, we will go out and just wait a second, and he will start getting all the little sparkles around him. And then we can go in and we can find some more trades. So let's give him some books to get another emerald. And take the book out, and then he would like to have 10 emeralds. And we'll give him some emeralds, and we'll get a compass. And then we can go on to the next one, and he will give us a bookshelf. And again, that's the last trade. So now we'll wait, and we can immediately go back to him, find out what comes after the bookshelf. Now he would like a written book, and since I didn't write any books, you have to make 2 identical books. Put your name on it, write, blah de blah in the middle of it, sign it, and then make 2 of those that are exactly identical, and you can stack them up. I don't believe the game will recognize the one and a copy. You have to make 2 that are identical. So then you don't need to trade them every trade. So I'm going to go ahead and get the clock for 12 emeralds, and then he would like to have 1 emerald to give me a stack of 3 glass. And then once again, his trades are done, but he has more. So as soon as he sparkles again, we'll go and see what he has after the glass. Now he would like to have a book and 9 emeralds to give us an aqua affinity enchanted book, which you can use the enchanted books with the anvils, and then you can get enchantments without having to have an enchantment table. Okay, so let's see if he gives anything else after that. And he looks like he does. And he has, let's see, was that the last one we did? Yes, that was for the aqua affinity. Now he wants a book and 11 emeralds, and he will give us an enchanted book for Luck of the Sea 3, so for your fishing bowl. And let's see if that is the last one. That was just one single edition there, and that may be his last trade. I'm not sure. We'll find out what we have here. And that is the Luck of the Sea, and there are some more. Now he would like to have 20 emeralds to give you a name tag. So let's go ahead and get 3 name tags from him, and because I'm going to use them for something else. And other than getting name tags in a dungeon, in a chest, this is now a dungeon or in a mine shaft. This is now another way to get a name tag, because you can't craft them. Then you only can get them from things, and now the librarian has them as his last offer in the trade. So that is the librarian and his trades, and you can go back through that tier as many times as you want. Now, if you trade him at some point for, let's just say we trade him out on his name tags, and he wants 20 emeralds, and we have enough here to trade up here and get as many as we can from him. And let's see, we need to put another part of a stack in there, and now that is X'd out. But that is the trade in his last slot, and when you go back to him now, if you were to go through the tier again and start trading for something else, for a little while that will stay maxed out, but as soon as you go back and trade for, let's just say we trade him some paper again and get some emeralds, And then you go out further and go back up, and that's still that way. But if you do him a couple more trades, and then maybe even just releasing him a little bit and coming back, after a little while, that will not be X'd out. If he gets another bunch of trades that he really likes, but it might not be X'd out, but he might have upped the price. So those are the trades that you get from a librarian. And so now I'm going to stop this video and go to the next part, because I'm going to do individual trades with you to show the kind of things that you get from the new trading system in Minecraft 1.8.1. Okay, last night we got this librarian that we've already made happy here with trading and with food. We got him from a zombie villager that we cured. And now I'm going to show you an alternate way to get a second villager. I'm going to use the summon command, and I'll type in /summon with a small s, space, villager with a large capital V, and then I have to put in my location. So I have, so I have to get rid of that for the moment, get my location here, which is 305.65.363. So we'll let the little librarian go, and I'm going to try again. Summon villager, no caps on summon, caps on villager, and then I have to put the location 305.65.363, and then I have to put in the uppercase bracket. That's the little wiggly one, and then I want to say profession, and I want a farmer, so the farmer's profession is 0, and then I close the bracket and I hit enter, and there we go. We have a farmer of one kind or another. Oh, he's going to run out because it's daytime, so we're going to go find him, because I want to now the first thing he did was find that there was ripe food to pick, and so he went right to work, and that means he is filling up his slots, and then he will be able to trade the food that he gets as soon as he gets enough in his slots with the other villagers, and in this case there is just the one. But as soon as he's through with the farming and replanting, so far all he has here is wheat, and so he will get wheat seeds back from that, just like we do when we harvest, and he will replant. Now we'll find out what kind of a farmer he is. There are 4 different types, and this is a Fletcher, so he makes bows and arrows. So what he would like to have in trade first is string, and then he will give you an emerald, and then he would like emeralds to give you some arrows. So let's go ahead and get some string. He'll wait a couple of seconds here. I just have to go into the creative inventory, get some string, and we'll get a couple stacks out here, and go ahead and get 3 stacks. And then I'm going to go ahead and get some emeralds also, so we'll have some extras. We get several stacks of those. And I think I already have some in my inventory because I was from when I was trading the librarian. So now he's okay. Plant your plants. There we go. And then we're going to give him some string, and we're just going to. I'll go ahead and I'll do that to start with. Give us back a little bit of string, and he gave me several emeralds. And then we're going to go to the emeralds. I'll go ahead and put a stack in here. And I'll just take one bunch of 11 arrows from him, and then we'll take the emeralds back out again, just how we were doing with the librarian before. And then I will go back in, and we'll find that we have some new trades now. So we'll give him some more emeralds, and we'll get a bow, and we'll take that out. Oops, not yet. Now he would like to have gravel and an emerald to give us some flint. So I got to get some gravel. Find the gravel, and I'll get a couple of stacks of gravel. And what I usually do when I'm doing this and creating bunches and bunches of villages and villagers is I make a chest for each type that contains things that I can trade, and then I have things that I get back from them. That way I can always keep track of it, and I don't have to go into creative every time. And if you're doing it in survival, then of course you just want to gather these things ahead of time. And then we'll wait a little bit. Oh, no, we're going to have to follow him now because it's nighttime, and so he's going in here, which is right next to my home. I have my things in the wall here. Okay, and so then we're going to see what else he wants to trade for. And is that his last trade? Really? Okay, I wasn't sure about that. So he wants emeralds and gravel again. And let's just make sure we'll take all of the flint that he'll give us. And that'll be until, after a certain time, that'll open up again. but let's just see if he got any more open trades or if that's all he does. That's all he does is a Fletcher. So first of all, he wants string, and he'll give you emeralds, and then he wants emeralds, and he'll give you arrows. Emeralds will get you a bow, and then he wants gravel and emeralds to give you flint. And of course, you can use your flint and your iron to make the flint. What is this? Flint and steel to go ahead and get your nether portal started up, or else you can use it as a weapon and set monsters on fire. So he has things, although he is a farmer, he has no apron on, he just has his brown, quote, robes, his brown shirt here in this case, and he can go out and farm, and he is just one of the different farmers. Right now, we won't even try to get a different kind. Eventually, in a village, I always try to get at least one of each kind, even if I get over the 10 villagers that I need for the iron golem. So we'll do one more summon, and okay, I have my readout here, so I'm going to do one more summon just to show you a different type. We'll go ahead and try to get a cleric. So I'll do the summon command, summon villager, and the location is 311, 65, 363, and I'll put the bracket, and I will say, let's see, the profession for the cleric is number 2, so profession colon 2, and close the bracket, and we should have a cleric jumping in here, and there he is. So I'll show you the trades with the cleric. I'm going to go ahead and I need to go around to the other side here where I have some more chests in here. Come on, through the door. The librarian came in here to see what's going on because I was trading him here a little while ago. Now see, he's happy and the farmer's happy, and so if they get over there and get together, then we could have a little baby here. So I'm going to go ahead and okay, where did I put them? Here. There we go. I'll put the gravel and the string, put all these things in here that I got from the farmer. I keep the emeralds in here, and we'll put the flint in here, and then I have some more string. Yeah, I keep dragging them down. There we go. And I'll just set those in there like that. I have plenty of room up here. Come on, Linda. Okay, so now I'm going to go over here and go back with the where the cleric is, and I love his trades. First of all, I'm going to need some rotten flesh. So I'm going to get a couple stacks of that. And then I'm going to need some gold ingots. So I'm going to get several stacks of that, because he gets a little expensive to start with. And then he gets quite less expensive. So first of all, I'm going to go in and I'm going to give him some rotten flesh and get a bunch of emeralds from him. I'll just give him a little bit more, get some more emeralds, and I'll give him the rest of that stack, and I'll keep a couple of them. And then we go to his next trade, and he wants gold instead of rotten flesh. And he gives you the emeralds, and then he won't trade anything more in that in that tier right now. So we wait a couple seconds, and we go in, and then he starts asking you just for single emeralds back. I mean, we gave him all that stuff, and he gave us a bunch of emeralds, and now to get 3 redstone, he wants just 1 emerald, and to get a lapis lazuli, he just wants 1, and then we'll wait until he's a little happier, and we'll go back and we'll check and see what he wants next. So now he wants to get a little bit more emeralds, and he will give you an eye of ender, not just a pearl, the ender pearl, which you can get from the enderman, but he'll give you the whole eye right there. So now you can get some glowstone, and then we have to wait a little bit again. And once he's happy, okay, now after the glowstone, then he wants, and this is his final trade, he wants 6 emeralds for the bottle of enchanting. And just to prove that that's his last trade, we'll just wait a couple seconds. There we go. And that should be his very last trade. So we got from him a little bottle of enchanting, which I'll show you what it does. If you haven't seen that before, I'm going to go into survival, and you can see that I have 23 XP points right now, but I'm going to use that number 5 bar and use up that bottle of enchanting, use them all up, and I didn't get to another whole XP point, but you can see all the green points there, and I'm almost to 24 now. So the bottle of enchanting gives you XP. And so now we have some happy um, little villagers in here. He hasn't been fed yet, so and the farmer hasn't given him anything either that I've noticed. The farmer hasn't harvested a whole lot of stuff yet. And so I'm going to go ahead and give this guy some potatoes here. And I'm going to keep him over to his left so that the farmer doesn't absorb them. And after he gets a couple of things here, he should be pretty happy. Because he's been traded with, although I didn't trade him a lot of full trades. And now he's got food. And so he should be pretty happy, and the farmer's happy, and the librarian is happy. And so pretty soon, they're going to get together. Let's set the time today so they can all get together. And let's see what happens. Okay, now we have a little cleric in here with the librarian. And let's see if they will produce some red hearts at the same time. It has to be all at the same time. And when they do, right now we have a chance of having a baby from these two. Then one of them will wait. Now see, they just shared some food back and forth. One of the librarian threw a little extra food over to the cleric. Cleric's going to go out and see what the farmer's doing, I think. Farmer's still in here. He's going to go out and do some farming. So they're just going to do what they have to do. They'll be busy in here, and before too long you'll begin to see babies being born. It takes a little while for them to get their timing right, because they're not all going to have their little red hearts at the same time until it just works out that way. So once they do, they'll start producing babies. Alright, so then there's going to be there are some alternate ways to get villagers into your village, but I'm going to stop this video, and it'll be added to the conglomerate one that I'm making. So here we go on to the next one. Okay, now here's another alternate way to get a villager. We're going to do the zombie villager thing again, but we're going to use a spawn egg, a zombie spawn egg, in order to do it. Now there is a 5% chance of getting a zombie villager out of the zombie spawn egg. So I may have to make a bunch of them, and I've turned the sound off because it gets really loud when you get a bunch of them in here. And if I don't get a zombie villager really soon, I'm going to go ahead and go back to peaceful for a moment or two, and then I will turn it back on. I'm just looking to get one zombie villager here, and so far there's one right there. So I don't want to turn it to peaceful, so I have a diamond sword here, and I'm just going to get rid of all the other zombie villagers. Should have done some enchanting on it too while I was at it. Would have been easier. I don't want to kill the zombie villager, so I get just rid of all the rest of the zombies. It won't take too long. Whoop, where'd he go? I don't want to hit him, and I can't hear, so it's just a quiet little bit of assassination going on here. And once they're all gone, then we're going to use the effects, the splash potion of weakness and the golden apple, so you can see how that actually works. And of course, this is not how it would happen out in the wild, because you wouldn't have this process of selection. And they're all trying to get at the villagers, which are three in there now. We have the librarian that you saw me trade with, and then the farmer that I summoned and traded with him, and then the last one, and get that little guy there. The last one was the cleric that I also summoned and traded with him. So they may have already produced a baby also, and I can't hear anything, so I can turn the sound up now, but I don't want to take the time to do that. So what I want first, I need to turn the sound up. Hold on just a moment. I'm going to set that open, and then I'll just go out here and turn up my sound to 5, and now you can hear the zombie villager growling. Now it is a level let's see, 11 in here, so we're going to need to cut off some more light before I do this, because if it gets too much lighter, he will begin to burn up. So I'm going to go ahead and push him back, and close off some of these light. I know he wants to get up there. Oop, come on, back out of the way. He can't see me, so you know, he's concentrating on the villagers anyway. I just want to cut off almost all the light. But I want to be able to see I want you to be able to see what's going on. Come on. Don't stand there in the middle. Okay, back up, back up, back up, back up. Oh, wait. Maybe that's enough. We hope so. Try one more time. No, see, he's gonna burn up. Okay, nighttime. Time set 18,000. Turn it to night again. Okay. Okay, whew, made it. Okay. Whew, almost ruined it. Okay. Should have thought to just do that in the first place. But you can do it during the day as long as you get him closed in where it's light, not so light. Okay, so now we're going to hit him with this splash potion here, and that weakens him. And then I'm going to hit him with the golden apple, which does the change in him. And listen, you get this explosive thing happening, and he begins to shiver and shake. And since we're in creative, I'm just going to go out through here. He's still focusing on the villager since he is in still a zombie. Now, if I had left the other zombies in there and just done that to him, they would have turned him back, or they would have killed him. They would have focused on him, and as soon as he turned, and then that would have been bad. So we would have lost him anyway. So as long as we can keep it night here, and if I hadn't been so clumsy about getting the light turned off in there, it would have been a little bit better. But it's going to take him a little bit of time. So while we're waiting on him to fully turn, just like the other zombie villager did, we're going to just go check, see. I hear some villagers in here somewhere. Oh, whoops. Didn't mean to put that in there. Always doing that. I think they're over here. Let's see. They're in here. Oh, I hear a baby. You hear the smaller voice in here. Not in here. Where are you guys? Where are you? Not in there. Must be around over here in my home. There they are. And we have a baby blacksmith. So now we have 4 villagers in here, but only 3 adults. And the game is set to create an iron golem when we get to 10 adults. So we have these 2. Now he's happy, but he's not happy at the same time. Now they have food, this farmer. Oh, that might happen. Look, they're both getting their little hearts. If they do it right at the same time, they'll have another baby. But they have to be willing at the same time. Now see, they're socializing with the little one and with each other. When they hear him speak, they turn around and they look at him. They, what do you want? And the other guy is across over here, and he's not in the same room with them, so they have to be in the same room. They have to have their hearts go. Oh, there are 2. Look at that. I didn't even see that. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 villagers in here, and we have a librarian, another librarian, and we have a blacksmith, and we have one type of the farmer, and we can't know what type of blacksmith this is until he grows up. And so let's see, we have zombies out there trying to get at that one, and I think we have a cured villager over here. No, not yet. So there must be another villager in here, because he was trying to come in this door. No, not there. Yeah, I guess he was just trying to come from that way before they moved. So as soon as he stops growling at us and starts sounding like a villager, we can let him in here, and then he can join the other ones. Poor little guy. Feel sorry for him. I mean, here, he got turned, you know, he got spawned, but he would, in the normal natural generation of things, he would have gotten turned from a villager into a zombie villager just before he died, or brought back from the dead. I'm not quite sure how that works. But he needs to get all the way cured, and then we can let him out. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and also set up an anvil while we're in here, because I'm going to catch one of those little ones. I think there we go. I want to catch the blacksmith and see what kind of blacksmith he is, but we're going to name him. I need to go back to my home, which is over here. The villager will keep in there. Oh, he just turned. I heard the sound. There he is. You can see him through there. See? I guess we'll go look at him real quick. The babies won't have grown up yet. But here he is. He is also a blacksmith. And so we'll let him in here. Oh, he can't come in yet because I need to get out here and take down the barrier. And then he can come in. The zombies can't get at him. And he'll need to figure out that he can come away from the fence in order to do that. So we'll just let him figure that out because I want to get over here and see what the sky is. I need the weather to be clear so I can see what I'm doing. And I want to find out where the babies are and set up the anvil. In here? He's still in here. Good. That's exactly the one that I want to talk to. Come on in here. And in here I have some name tags that I got from the librarian. So I'm going to put those in here, and I'm going to put the anvil out here, just right there, and hopefully not scare them. And I'm going to put a name tag in here. We're going to name this guy. We'll put one in there. And what shall we call him? We should call him Blackie. And he will then have a name, and he will keep that name into adulthood. So that is Blackie. And then I'm going to put the rest of these away. And I'll put the extra anvil away, and don't need this one. And I just wanted to show you how to do that with the name tags. You can also name the spawn egg. So I guess we have enough time actually to do that. So we'll kind of go out here where there's a little more room. And we'll use a villager spawn egg instead of a zombie spawn egg. Let's trade those out. Now I could name the spawn egg right now too, and that would name the villager, but I'm not going to do that. We've already got a Blackie, and I'm just going to get rid of that. And you do it the same way with the anvil. You just put the spawn egg in instead. So now we have, and that's in 7. We're going to spawn. See, when you get up, oh, there, yeah, there we go. When you get up close enough to him, you can see that his name is Blackie. You have to hover over it. So now we're going to spawn some kind of a villager. We don't know what we're going to get, and he is another farmer. And if I were to click on him, and I'll do that just this one time, he will produce a baby right now with the spawn egg. And we'll have another baby, and we have another cleric. So now we're going to get rid of the spawn egg, and we'll let them do the rest of their multiplying all by themselves. But I want to see what kind. He is a fisherman. So to make him really happy, I would be able to trade him string, and then I would trade him coal, and then I would trade him raw fish, and he would give me cooked fish. And then I'm not sure, but that may be the only trades that he has. No, because later he gives you fishing poles and enchanted ones at that. So I could trade him right now and get him really happy. But I want to check out first to see if the cured zombie villager came out. And let's see what do we have over here. And that's our big cleric. Where is it? Oh, here we go. Right over here. Let's see if he got himself out of his little trap. And he did. So we're going to go ahead and shut those gates. And I'm pretty sure there's nothing else in there. We'll just take a check just to make sure we're not going to lose a villager out of here. And yeah, it's empty. So we can just get rid of this. We don't need it anymore. That served its purpose. You can make traps like that with an open door on one side, if you're doing it in survival, and which would be really when you want to do it. There's no reason to do it when you're in creative, because you can get your villagers in other ways. But just to show you that that's how it works, I went ahead and did that. And you could spawn them all that way if you wanted to, but that's just a lot of work. If I'm going to spawn them in creative, I'm going to use probably a named spawn egg. And I usually, if I'm doing villages for myself, where I'm filling them up with villagers, I do the first 2 and I name them Founder 1 and Founder 2, and then I let them generate the other villagers, however many the doors will handle. In this case, we could have at least 20 villagers in here because we have 64 doors, and all we'd need, well, strictly speaking, we would need 70 doors, but it would probably happen a lot sooner. We would get, because some of the babies wouldn't be growing up they grow up in stages because they're born in stages, and so by the time you got to 20 adult villagers and got a second iron golem, then the baby, there would still be a few babies left over. So the babies get to run around here and keep each other happy, and they will be fed by the farmers. And since I did feed that one farmer some potatoes and carrots, I believe, I'm not sure about that, but let's just make sure that they do have some, because then they'll start trading out their crops. Just like, when we're planting and we need, he already has wheat seeds, so we're not going to give him those. When we are planting and we need carrots and potatoes, we get them from the zombies. When we want our villagers to plant other things, we need to either make sure that there are some potatoes and carrots in the garden for them, or throw some at one of the. Then I forgot about the ice thing. Gotta get out in front of him here so that the things don't slide away from him. There we go. Give him some potatoes. Give him a whole bunch of potatoes, and then we'll switch to carrots, and we'll give him some carrots. And then when he runs out of wheat seeds, or whichever slot the different things are in, when he comes to his first slot, um, that has food in it. Yeah, see, they nod at you when they're getting happy. Um, and, oh, you want some too? Yeah, you haven't had any food yet either, have you? There you go. You're hungry too. Okay, you can have carrots. Good for your eyes. So now the farmers will go around to the other farmlands that are out here that have empty space to plant, and whenever they are in range of that, like he is right now, he's going to start planting. There, he's planting potatoes. So as soon as he has the different things in his slots, like I showed you in the very beginning of this combo video. Oh, that was an Enderman. What is he doing out here in the daytime? He must have got left over. He's just zipping around here. He won't hurt anything, but I don't like him to be in my villages because they start taking away the blocks that are inside of the village. At least they don't take fence blocks. Anyway, we'll leave him alone. I could kill him because I'm being creative and it would be easy. Okay, nighttime is on the way. He must have just been a little bit of an early riser. So there we go. We have villagers here in all of the ways that you can spawn them, except that I didn't name any of the spawn eggs, and but you can see that can be done, just like naming the babies. You cannot name the adult villagers. And you can't lead them around with a leash either. So the only other way to get a villager, other than the zombie villagers, or spawning them and letting them then create their own babies, is to go to a village that's close by and to bring villagers, at least two, so you can have them breed, into your village and populate it. So if you're in, like, for instance, a multiplayer game and you are not allowed to be an op or have cheats on, then you will have to do that. You'll have to bring a villager from somewhere else or cure your first two zombie villagers. And other than that, the closest village to this one here that I've created is about 1,200 blocks in either direction. And there's no way I'm going to demonstrate that. I'm not going to go out there. I'm not going to build a railroad and bring them back, or try to bring them back through a series of a tunnel with a series of doors. That's just ridiculous to go that far to get some villagers. So there you have the creative ways to do it. And we're going to end up the part 4 of the Villages and Villagers tutorial. And when I come back, then we're going to see exactly what happens after we do a little more trading, get enough villagers happy that we end up with our iron golem, and that will be the final part of the tutorial. So thank you for being with us through this part, and there will be just one more little bit.